Hey there, I wanted to talk today about the recycled rockets mod and how it works. So I'll go through the different rocket silo types. I'll go through the new concepts of a rocket booster and a cargo pod that's discrete. And then we'll go through each of the planet's advanced fuel systems. So these are the three different rocket silos. Unchanged graphics, if anyone wants to help out with that, I would love it. Starting over here, we've got the base game rocket silo, untouched. If we come over here, we have our first one, the basic recycled rocket silo. So if we click into this, we'll notice right away that our recipe has changed in here to create a rocket. So what it is now is that we need a recycled rocket booster. So this is an unfueled bottom stage rocket. We need a recycled cargo pod, also unfueled. And then we need 100 rocket fuel. It's the same as what it was before. And then if we come over to the advanced rocket silo, we see it's almost exactly the same with the exception of this new advanced recycled rocket fuel. So I'll go through how to create that advanced rocket fuel in a second. So these are the new logos. So we've got our basic and our advanced. The reason for basic and advanced is that if some players don't want to use the advanced rocket fuel system that I created that I tried to keep on theme, but is still my own creation. They want something that's closer to base. Totally fine. Just never research it and use the basic rockets silo that just requires rocket fuel to refuel these things and go back up and down. And if someone else wants the other rocket fuel, it's available. So in order to create these boosters, so the rocket booster requires 100 processing units, 100 low density steel, and then 15 thrusters. And so the idea is that accounts for the thrusters are on the bottom, the construction of the rocket, and then the processing units that's required for it to fly. These will be sent up in outer space, and then they immediately turn back down as these unfueled rocket boosters, and then those are stored inside of your storage units. Cargo pods, so these require 15 processing units, 5 low density structure, and 1 thruster on the back of it. And so these, when they get sent up, will stay up with the rocket and then, or excuse me, with the ship. And then if you want to send materials back down, you'll use one of those every time the stuff goes back down, and then those will get recovered inside of the space platform. Okay, and so this one has been fueled up and is ready to go. And so if we launch something on this, it'll go and do that whole cycle. So I'll go ahead and talk through, I'll show you some examples of the cargo pods up here. So this is one of my ships, and as you'll see, there's a whole bunch of these cargo pods here. And so the way these work is that if I send something down, so let's see, so I'm going to send these down, you'll notice that the number I had.
What?
So if you'll notice, we sent one thing down and we lost a rocket. That might have, I don't know how clear that was in the video, so I'll go ahead and send one more. So I'll drop 2 of these and we'll see this number drop down to 19. Okay, boom, drops to 19, and then we see this guy go ahead and down. And then if we head back over here, we'll see what we just dropped coming down. And if we watch really quickly, we'll notice that there is both a cargo pod and the item that got put in here. And so now we can pick up those cargo pods and go. The rocket boosters immediately return. So when a rocket booster goes up, it immediately turns back around and comes down as just the rocket booster unit. And then that ends up in our storage as these guys here, these recycled rocket boosters, which we can then just pick up, bring over, and reload, fill up, and then you take them off again. So, advanced fuels. So I tried to do this on theme as possible, and the numbers I tried to use were as close to the other processes that I was mimicking in here to create this advanced rocket fuel. So Novice is known for its nuclear power because it's easy to get nuclear power on Novice and it doesn't exist anywhere else. Volcanus, it works off of sulfur and calcite with your steam expansion in tungsten. So that's how you make the advanced fuel there. Fulgora is about electromagnetism. So we use a superconductor electromagnetic fuel. We'll go through that. Glebus is biological, obviously, so we have biological elements. And then Aquilo, we use the fucatane of the cold hot fucatane to get that going. And so in each one of these, in each planet, if you're going to make advanced fuel, you can only make it in one building that is specialized to that planet. So on Novice, it's the centrifuge. So if we go into centrifuge, we jump over to space, we have our advanced rocket fuel. And so this requires 5 low density structure to create the physical structure around it, 20 rocket fuel, and then the nuclear fuel. And so the idea is that this is a nuclear rocket fuel. And so it's superheating the rocket fuel and throwing it out at an insanely high rate. And so for each one of these, we get 50 back. So in order to launch a rocket, it requires 10 low density structure, 40 rocket fuel, and 2 uranium fuel cells. And then that gets loaded in. If we jump over to Volcanus, so in here, again, we are obviously going to use the foundry because that's the one that is exclusive to Volcanus. And so if we come here and look, this one, it requires 1 calcite, 1 tungsten, and 100 sulfuric acid to make 5 rocket fuel. So every time you launch a rocket with this fuel, it'll take 20 calcite, 20 tungsten, and 2,000 sulfuric acid. And so this inspiration is from this chemical process that they gave us where you can put calcite. So you put calcite in and then 1,000 sulfuric acid, and it gives you massive amounts of steam, so pressure, right? And so the idea is that you are you're doing a tungsten foam in here. So you're doing tungsten foam, and then you have the calcite that is being introduced into the sulfuric acid in there, and it's throwing the tungsten out from that steam reaction at a high rate of speed, and that's how that rocket fuel on Volcanus works. Jump over to Fulgora. So the traits of Fulgora is that you have a heavy oil ocean. So you can make as much solid rocket fuel as you want for basically free, literally free. And so obviously we're going to be using the Clevis blowing up. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting attacked. We're going to be using the electromagnetic plant on here. And then if we look at this, so we use 20 iron plates, 180 rocket fuel, and 1 superconductor gives you 25 rocket fuel. So you're going to do 4 superconductors and 80 iron plates. And so that comes out to be 2 holmium plates, which is what I wanted to use per rocket launch. So I want just a little bit, but not too much of it. And so the idea of this one, so iron, ferric metal, so you're taking rocket fuel and your iron plate, and you're spinning it in your electromagnetic plant around your superconductor. And so you're creating a superconductor electromagnetic, like a rail gun, launching out the iron behind your ship. And so you're launching this iron at a crazy high rate of speed from the solid rocket fuel expansion through this superconductor rail gun system. And so that's how that fuel works. Jump over to Glebus. So Glebus is obviously going to use the bioreactor. And then if we look at the fuel setup here, so this one requires 15 rocket fuel, 1 iron bacteria, and 1 pentapod egg. And so that will make 50. And so you're going to need 30 rocket fuel, 2 pentapod eggs, and 2 iron bacteria in order to make this each one of these rockets fly. And so the idea with this rocket fuel is that the pentapod eggs have special and extremely high energy dense properties when they are mixed with the other biologics of Gleba. And so we're using that with the rocket fuel expansion to create an extremely volatile mix which makes this advanced rocket fuel here. Alright, now let's jump over to Aquilo, the cold one. So Aquilo, obviously we're going to be using the cryo plant to create that fuel. And so if we click on over here, look at this. So this one, it's 1 rocket fuel, 10 fuel tone cold, and then it returns 6 hot and 4 rocket fuel. So this, you need 25 rocket fuel. It's pretty easy to make rocket fuel on Aquila, and Fulcatorn. And so we do the same kind of trick to where it's like you have to be able to consume the amount of hot that's required in order to keep the system running without overflowing on the hot. And then we're spinning it together. And so the idea is that we're creating a fusion type fuel off of this that is highly, highly explosive. And so that's why you get a 4x boost on your default rocket fuel. And so again, this is just for fun. You know, if I thought it was cool to try and create a fuel type that was themed for each planet based on the properties that are special and unique of each of those planets for the different rocket silos. And so that's what the advanced system is. But if you don't like any of that stuff, you don't want to play any of that, that's totally cool. I get it. You can just use the basic recycled rocket with 100 rocket fuel per, and then you get all the benefits of the reusable rockets without all the other stuff. So thanks for watching.